Welcome to Conversational Currency Live. Communication is a superpower. And on Conversational Currency, we explore the value and importance of social skills for business in a digital era, told through the lens of today's business and thought leaders. I am the host, Shadid Elazer. Now, as conversational currency heads into season three, what many of you may not know is that conversational currency did things the opposite way, where some people start with a podcast and, of course, go to your digital outlets, your Spotify's and your iTunes, so on and so forth. Went the opposite direction in that we actually started with television and expanded into radio in the DC market. And then with season three, we are going to take the digital airwaves. There's been hundreds of interviews delivered. And so throughout the month of May, in preparations for the June launch of season three of Conversational Currency, lots of interviews, conversations will be done. So this is an exciting time. Now, one of the mainstays of conversational currency is the live event experience. And in this particular case, during this time of COVID-19, we have to take things virtual. So there's an event series that has been around, it's been a mainstay in the internet marketing, small business, or online entrepreneur industry, and that is JVX. Now, within my particular business as a personal brand, my content focus for the month of May will be on the joint venture process. So there'll be several events as well as training that I'm delivering on the topic of joint ventures, why joint ventures are different from affiliate partners. An affiliate can have a joint venture, but joint ventures essentially take on a deeper relationship. They are relationship driven partnerships, whereas an affiliate, you don't have to have any connection whatsoever. So we're going to dive deeper into what joint venture partnerships take, what are the requirements, what you can expect, and also a few horror stories of what can go wrong when you approach joint venture partners the wrong way. So this would be the month to cover that. If you have any questions, where you need to go is to my email list, and that is mrshadid.com/email. Now, I want to make sure that you share this broadcast. Sharing is caring. And so make sure you share this broadcast with your network, because if you're a aspiring business owner, meaning you are sitting here right now in quarantine and you're wondering, man, I need to leverage the rest of this time to get something started. I don't know where to start. The fastest way you can grow your business is through partnerships. And if you're a current entrepreneur, maybe you have a product, maybe you have a few services that you are looking to expose to a greater audience, the fastest, most effective, highest leverage way to do this is through the audiences of those who are willing to promote your services and your reputation. If you pay for advertising, that's one direction, but that's still cold traffic. You have to warm up this traffic. You have to warm up that audience, those eyeballs who are interested in what you may have to offer as a lead generator or a lead magnet. But when you are leveraging social proof, meaning my friend is telling his or her friends about the goodness that you have to offer, your unique value, then it makes it much easier for you to share your message with that audience. So it is so important that you understand the power of the joint ventures. Yes, Virginia. I was looking through the directory this evening after many of my follow-ups, and we will reconnect. You are extremely high value, and I see what you're doing out there in the world. So we will reconnect before JVX is done. That is what I would like to do. That is my intent. So let's put something together and get on each other's calendars for this upcoming week and see what type of magic we can put together. Good to see you. So, we're going into the JVX recap. And again, make sure you share this broadcast as partnerships are the glue, the foundation, and also, I like to point out, is the secret sauce to many of the elite. There's many of you. Actually, there's thousands of you who will watch this video on a replay, and you wonder, you play the game of saying, wow, not how. Wow, how is this person able to do $1 million launch? Today on Twitter, was a young lady who uh, launched 7 figures within 9 minutes. 9 minutes. So, ecom brand did 7 figures in 9 minutes. And I'm here to tell you, if you think that an ecom brand can do 7 figures in 9 minutes on their own merit without the use of partners and a joint venture network, then you are playing the wrong game. People that you look up to, the people you aspire to be, all have some form of partnership network. And the key is yes, you can do it on your own, but why would you want to do it on your own? Leverage is the key. Leverage is the key. I want you to write that down. Leverage is the key. Now let's get into this. JVX is typically a in-person event that is held in LA, Los Angeles, and of course, with COVID-19, everyone in the event space has to pivot, has to make changes, adjustments, rescheduling, cancellations. And in this particular case, it made the decision to host a virtual event. So from May 1st to May 3rd, the JVX live virtual event is underway. So the event is held via Zoom. The co-hosts for this event are Rich German and Iman Agai. If you are part of my audience, you may remember the great interview that I conducted with Iman Agai. He has taught me a lot. I went up to Vancouver to work with him and his team. Many of his team are people that I've known throughout the years and get along with famously. And every time that I've seen him at live events, he's always taken a moment to pour into me to say, hey, I like what you're doing, or try this or try that. There's a few great tips that he gave me in terms of how to work live events. He's a gentleman who I've known to be an extremely high level creator at live events. I've seen him with my own two eyes create entire courses with multiple people. So we're going to come together and put a course together from scratch and raise money for a charitable cause. I've seen him do this at least 2 or 3 times. And so, great guy to know and have worked with throughout the years. And so, when I learned that he was involved, I said, okay, we're in good hands here. Um, so Rich German, Imana Guy, and the great staff behind the scenes have put together a virtual event. I will say right away that uh, this was the largest Zoom event that I've ever attended, and I was impressed by the quality of the event. I personally host, uh, co-organize, or I'm a part of up to 109 live events per year. And so I'm always paying attention to who is doing what in the live event space. And with digital events, of course, that transition is something that we're all looking at. So many cases, I'm not only a student, but I'm also a partner, so on and so forth. So if I'm partner with an event or I'm a speaker at an event, I take a step back and I have my notes that I'm taking for events as well. So I like the transitions. There was live music. There was different activities. There was a lady who led us through a group stretch and energy building session. There was the hot or not, which used some of the Zoom features, and I felt that the use of the breakout rooms was really cool in that it gave us several opportunities to network with and pitch our products, services, and joint venture offers to large groups of people. So there were several breakout sessions throughout the day, and I felt that was highly beneficial. I have my doubts in terms of would I, number one, be able to stay engaged for an entire day in a virtual conference setting. And the answer is I truly enjoy the overall experience. So that is my first bit of feedback. So the agenda for the day, first it kicked off. All times here are Pacific time for my East Coasters. I'm based on the East Coast as well. For those of you who are just getting familiar with my work, maybe through Periscope or other platforms that you're watching this. So the event, the welcome, let's say, itinerary kicked off at 9, and that was a live presentation. Then there was some introductions, gives you a chance to meet the team and the staff, and some of the ground rules of what to expect for the day, some of the helpful links. So, one of the benefits of this event is that there's a full directory of everyone you're to network with. What I respect is that the ground rule was set that you are not to do let's say a backdoor amateur trick of I have everyone's email address on this list. I'm just going to add them to my list. By law, you're not to do that. There's a can spam act that exists, but also you it's just bad form. So for those who are new to joint venture partnership events, that is an important ground rule to establish. So I also like that the rules of engagement were also set in that there was a script that was very helpful to use. So, what I decided to do is, despite my experience with partnerships and the number of deals that I may have done, I took a step back and just used that format, filled in my info, and decided to go with a clean slate and focus on what I bring to the table using that format. It stretches the mind. It allows me to learn a new approach. So I found that to be refreshing from my standpoint. A lot of interesting people attending this event. Again, this was the largest Zoom event that I've ever attended. It was well over is somewhere 240, 250 attendees. And the retention rate of the attendees stayed over 200 throughout the entire day, which, attrition tends to happen. And with most events, by the end of the day, you may be around 125, 150, but this was solid for a virtual event. I really thought they did a good job of keeping engagement up throughout the day. And also the breaks throughout the day were very good as well. So given time and during the breaks, there were this music playing. So again, the quality of the event, production value is what I'm looking for, was very good. During lunch, there were two presentations. Our first presentation featured more or less a talk on apps from Mr. Robert Evans, very knowledgeable from App Bros Design, and very good session overall. There was a bit of a break, and Mike Philistine, excuse the pronunciation, from the Marketers Cruise, as well as the Groove digital platform. He came to talk about funnels. What I liked about his presentation, most notably, was the breaking down earnings per click in a very easy to follow example. Many people who are new to joint ventures have no idea what an earnings per click is, and let alone how to calculate it. So that was helpful. And I liked the example he gave and allowed the audience to engage with that. So that was appreciated. And so the event overall, it so far for day one, there's the opportunity to network and build partnerships with over 250 aspiring and current entrepreneurs. And so the opportunity is there for those who put in the elbow grease and invest their time into building partnerships. There's a few tips I would like to share for the beginning partners who or entrepreneurs who aspire to be JV ready. Number one, if you're new, telling us that you're new does nothing. Uh, Instead, think about what you can give. And in many cases, your expertise is the number one thing. So here's one for you. If you are an accountant, for example, and you've run a brick and mortar business for 20 years and you are now transitioning into the online space, here's what you tell people. You say, look, I am willing in exchange for your joint venture participation to A, deliver a 30-minute masterclass to your Facebook group to solve the content issues within your groups. I'm willing to give a 30-minute complimentary strategy session that you can give out to 3 members of your list every month. I am willing to do an audit as a bonus for your signature course. So lead with your experience, lead with your time. If your list is small, if you don't have a podcast or a platform to feature your potential partners. But to say that you're new, or to say that you've never done this, or to say that your list is small, does nothing to connect you with partners. This goes for JVX. This goes to any conversation that you may have. And you must also realize that you have a network. In the Elaser reputational currency system, I teach you about the 4 types of currencies that any person can leverage when talking to someone who is higher on the totem pole than they may be. So, in review, tomorrow will be the day 2 of the event. Looking forward to that. So it will continue on Saturday and Sunday, and it's going to be good. Very solid insight and information. So tune in for the day 2 recap. And I'm Shadidi Laser. Make sure if you want to go on the adventure of entrepreneurship and learn the ups and downs as I'm experiencing it, you can go to mrshadi.com/email and join my business advisor report, where I share with you the ups and downs, the hidden conversations that I have with the leading high performance entrepreneurs, public figures, and celebrities who are converting their talent based businesses into systems based businesses so that they can be available for the people and moments that matter. And if you want to optimize what you're delivering in your business, whether it's email marketing, going live on the leading platforms, social media management, website optimization, I have a team that backs my experience that will completely revamp and give your business model a facelift that you will be proud of. So I'm Shadidi Laser. That is my time for this evening. Take care of yourself and each other. See you for day 2, JVX.